Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Johnny from Fantasy News and Brews, here to give you my cash core lineup for the NBA main slate on Sunday, March 21st. And today we have two slates. We have the early slate, I think starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and we have the late one, I guess the main one. So before we get into that, let's talk about my lineup from yesterday. And the core I gave you guys, obviously Shake Milton, Jordan Poole, DeMar DeRozan, Tobias Harris, and Draymond Green. And, of those five, everyone was solid except for Draymond Green, which we got a little unlucky there. He rolled his ankle, I believe, in the second quarter, missed out on a good chunk of time. And, I mean, we can't put the blame on that. He also didn't play very well, so there was that. That's unlucky. But the rest of the team, Shake Milton was great. So as soon as we got news that Ben Simmons was out, I wanted all of Shake Milton and Tobias Harris. Basically, the entire starting five looked good, but those two were the guys that I wanted. And then Jordan Poole, starting for Steph Curry, looked good. DeMar DeRozan with DeJounte Murray out. I'm surprised he was that low owned, only 5% in this tournament. Probably a little higher in cash contests, but yeah, no, he's solid without DeJounte Murray. He basically ran the offense. And then Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre, Halliburton, kind of more contrarian plays. Had to get a little different there and didn't really pay off, so that's okay. So yeah, that's my lineup. Didn't cash, but let's move on to today. So for this early slate, see, starting at 10 a.m. We have four games. First one I like at the top here is Jamal Murray at 7K, and in my opinion, he's a little underpriced. Um, he's been pretty decent too, like 35, 39, 51. He'll play 35 to 40 minutes in a close game, which is what we love to see. And the matchup against New Orleans is pretty good as well, so I like him a lot. Um, there aren't really a ton of standout plays, but for cash, for safety, I like Jimmy Butler as well. Also, I feel he's underpriced. Um, he's kind of been on a tear. He's been on a tear lately, except for the last two games, tough matchups. But yeah, 9.1K, I think is underpriced, and I think he looks good. He looks good there. Let's talk about John Wall next. We have John Wall for Houston. Also, in my opinion, underpriced. And with Kevin Porter Jr. out, I think he's going to be the main focal point of the offense. Also, a decent matchup. This is finally a game where they're not at risk of getting blown out. So if you think this game stays close, love John Wall. Oladipo looks fine. Christian Wood is still on a minutes limit, I believe, so I will probably be avoiding him. Another guy you can consider is DJ Augustine. Should play around 20 minutes with Kevin Porter Jr. out, so he's a good play for value in my opinion. And then let's talk about OKC. Moses Brown. So they've got SGA out, Al Horford out, Baisley out. George Hill's been out, right? I really like Moses Brown if he starts. We'll have to see what the starting lineup looks like, but I think we want to load up here on OKC because they have so many big names out. I think Moses Brown looks good. Isaiah Roby's decent if he starts. You could take a risk on Pokashevsky. He's also okay. Maladon's fine. There's some of these guys are going to have to step up with SGA out. He took up a lot of usage, played a lot of minutes, so those minutes and points are going to have to go somewhere. So keep that in mind with that. So that is the early slate breakdown of my cash core. Now let's move on to the late slate. So this one is more intriguing. I think there are more standout plays in my opinion that I really like. So first up at the top here, we have Russell Westbrook. The matchup is great. He has been on another level recently, and he's playing insane minutes. Also playing back-to-backs, which is awesome. Obviously good for the Wizards. Definitely necessary, given their current situation, the bottom of the table. But it's getting better. It's getting better over there. So, yeah, no. So 80, 59, 62, 82 fantasy points last game. The matchup is good against Brooklyn. Really like Westbrook here. Also really like Beal. I just prefer Westbrook over the 2. Although Beal, in my opinion, I think is underpriced as well. You could definitely play them both. And then maybe run it back with Harden and Kyrie. Although that doesn't leave you much salary left. But totally doable. And then next we have the Lakers. So let's talk about them. I think Dennis Schroeder is going to have to step up. Basically everyone will need to step up in this lineup with LeBron James out and Anthony Davis out. So look to Kuzma, Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell. They will all have to do a lot more if they're going to keep this game competitive. If you think this game is going to blow out, I think you want guys like THT, Alex Caruso, maybe Damian Jones gets some garbage time run. Wouldn't mind them as well for value. But yeah, I'm personally going to be loading up on the Lakers because they're just so thin without AD and LeBron. So for me, Schroeder, THT, also like Montrezl Harrell. So there's that. So for Philadelphia, if Ben Simmons is out again, I'm going straight back to Tobias Harris, going right back to Shake Milton. There he is. Those two look solid. If Ben Simmons is out, if Ben Simmons is in, I like him. I like Ben Simmons if he's in too. New York is decent defensively, but yeah, no, Ben Simmons looks good. Always a threat. He's a triple-double threat when he's on the floor, so I think he's decent. And then, not in my core, but I want to talk about Detroit because of the matchup. I think DeLon Wright looks good. His minutes went down last game, but I feel like if people box score watch, they'll avoid him. But I like him here in this spot. Sadiq Bey also looks okay. We know they struggle against bigs. Mason Plumlee's minutes have gone down, which is not good to see because Isaiah Stewart is taking them. So actually like Isaiah Stewart here. And then for Phoenix, really like DeAndre Ayton himself. Like he's honestly been struggling. More of a tournament play if you do play tournaments. So consider him for that because there's nobody on the Lakers who can really guard him. Like I'm not afraid of Damian Jones or Montrezl Harrell at all. So really like him as a risky, high risk, high reward play. So yeah, that about wraps it up for my early slate and main slate cash core lineup. So guys, if you enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate it if you gave us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.